What's going on, guys? Happy Cyber Monday. I'm going to continue this into Tuesday since I didn't get the videos out really that quick. It's a little bit late here on the East Coast. So everybody who wants to join and get into the membership now, you're going to get the Wade Phillips scheme, the short version that's ready to go. This is about, I think I was able to get this in 40 minutes. And then the Jim Schwartz scheme here, this is about 45, close to 50. But I mean, this video is originally 50, it's 5 hours long. So, but anyway, just kind of went through the video. I got all the meat and potatoes, as I like to say, got it out there to you guys. So if you want to jump on to my membership, you get both of these videos just for the price of joining the membership. Or I will put in the link, the link of this video, the description. I will put the link so you can go in there and just get this short versions of these defenses for what you see. All right, so just want to let you guys know that that's available. Obviously, like I talked about today, or going into tomorrow to the end of Tuesday, join the site, man. Join in. There's a million other things to look at too. It's not just these two videos. There's a whole lot of tips talking about different types of coverages. I put out something about triangle coverage, a way to try to get, trying to stop stacks, which is a real life adjustment. And if anybody's new to the channel in general, a lot of the stuff I do, 99% of it is based off of what I've done in real life as an NFL coach and what I've had to teach my players. And I try to relate it to Madden, okay? Madden's not perfect. You got to do little things. Sometimes it's a little bit funky, but we try to make it so that it comes from a sim place, okay? Like a sim standard that we try to keep here in my channel on YouTube and obviously in my Patreon. I think I have about 40 videos or 50 videos now. All right, so just taking a look at this right here, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of what it's like during a game week, if you're ever curious how teams prepare. So today's Monday. Right now, all the coaches are reviewing the film of yesterday's game. And then the coaches stay until about maybe 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and they're starting to get their reports ready and starting to do the intro stuff to getting ready for the next game. So depending on how you do it, this is how Wade Phillips did it with his defense, right? We had about 7 guys total, and everybody had a section to do. So me being the assistant DB coach, we have the main DB coach, I'm the assistant DB coach. He coached the corners specifically, I coached the safeties, and obviously we worked together. We had one room, so it wasn't like it was split. He's the head guy of the room. He makes the final call. I get to make suggestions, right? So that's pretty much how it goes. But when it comes to breaking down the actual game plan, my job was to look at first and second down passes, third down passes as well, but that was really more of his thing. And then together we did the red zone. So I did first and second down red zone. He did third down red zone. So when we say did, what does that mean? So let me just show you what a game plan looks like in the very beginning. So let me just hop on over to my screens that I have open. Give me 1 second. Be right back. Okay, so we are looking at what I did on first and second down, right? So I pretty much watched the 3 games or 4 game breakdown that we have already done by the quality control coach, right? Sit back and you try to come up with a summary of what they're doing. Okay, so this is what I worked on a little bit on Monday, pretty much all day Tuesday until our meetings. And when I say our meetings, the defense would get together probably around noon, okay, and get together and start watching the film. And when we watch the film, whatever coach has that section would give a presentation to the other coaches explaining what they saw, okay? And I tried to make this first and second down passing, it's a good amount of passes, try to break it down and to make it real easy so it's easy to digest, okay? So really, everything always starts when it comes to personnel, let me change the color real quick, starts with personnel, right? So what is Kansas City? This was 2016. I think this is the second time we played them. What did they do in the breakdown that we have, the 4 games that we watched, right? So I just give an overview, 11 personnel, 22 runs, 20 passes. So they're pretty much 50-50, right? And then out of the pass plays that they have, out of those 20 passes, 12 of them were pure drop back. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this breakdown, okay? The other 8 were play actions, which it was handled by another coach, specifically our quality control coach. He took care of the play action passes. Now we have what are the top concepts, and I'm just trying to break down again. I'm always trying to just get to the core thing so we can focus on what we need to stop and game plan. And then all the little things that may be like one time plays, I'll save that for later. And I usually bring it up at the end of the week. Okay. So China. So if you know like the West Coast scheme of Andy Reid scheme in general, there's just like certain plays that are what you call just personality plays, right? So at this time, he used to run what we call a China route, which I'll show you the picture of it coming up here pretty soon. It was really just a stop route by the outside guy. This is usually 3 by 1, if I'm not mistaken. A 9 route by the inside guy. So it's in the game, it would be something like the shock option play. Okay. And then we would go from there. So that's pretty much, if I had to compare it to a Madden play, I would probably compare it to shock option, but we'll take a look at it here. Okay. Then we had verticals, which is just all go special, which is 3 by 1 verticals. And then we had a couple one timers that actually did just right down. This was the big play on first and second down that they showed on film. Okay. That's their personality. So then you try to figure out, okay, so now you know their top play. What are the tells that are going to help you? And I just wrote here, you know, 12, the drop back plays were all shotgun. So anytime they got in shotgun, they were passing the ball. Okay. And it was drop back plays. So that was a big tell. All right. And then I wrote down issues. Okay. So what are some of the issues we're going to have to deal with? Well, some of the play calling comes out of wide bunch formation. So now we can start talking about what tools we need to try to fix that in the DB room, right? We know we're getting wide bunch. What do we want to use against wide bunch and the plays that are coming out of it? Okay. So I also broke down first down and second down. Okay. Just because sometimes there's a little bit of a tell when you group them together. You see, okay, they have passed the ball, half the time out of first and second down, but what do they do specifically on first down compared to second down? Is there any tendency? Okay. And so as you see what I wrote here, you had 11 runs, 9 passes on first down, 11 runs, 11 passes on second down. So there's no tell. So you have no idea really if it's first or second down. I could probably break it down a little bit further going into if it's second and long, second and medium. But just in general, when you're calling the plays, Wade, pretty much this is how we help the coach, that it could be run or pass. Okay. So you need good play calls that are good versus both. All right. I think I have some notes here versus Denver, mixed bag of plays. Okay, yeah. I write here no break point. Okay. So again, going back to what I had just said on second down, when you watch the film, sometimes you'll notice that, oh, well, when it's second and long, second and 10, they were passing, right? And then when it got to like second and 5, they were sticking with the run game. So sometimes we're putting notes on there to know that second and long is a different mentality than second and 5. But when you watch these plays, when I broke it down, it was basically second and 10, they would run the ball. Second and 10, they would pass the ball. Second and 5, they would pass the ball. So there was no like uh, yard line that I can say or distance to go that I can say that it was different. Okay. So that's just a big chunk of it right there. Then you get into 21 personnel, right? And again, this is how the NFL, once you start learning, when you watch games even on TV, things might be a little bit different now because this is from a couple years ago, but you kind of get a feel for like certain situations and certain formations give you certain tells of what's coming. Okay. Obviously, when you're in gun, which is a little bit different now than what it was back in the day, is it heavy run or heavy pass? Back then it was heavy pass, okay? Now it could be opposite. It really could be people get in the gun to just run the ball. They want to spread you out and run RPOs, right? And then they use play action from under center or something like that. So just those are the little things that you're looking for. It's kind of like a puzzle that you're trying to figure out. And it's pretty fun, to be honest with you. But back in the day, Andy Reid, before he got into the heavy collegey offense, he was kind of like 50-50. So he still had his 21 personnel. He ran what we call individual routes, which was middle read, horizontal routes, which is just base and bang, which are pretty much like curl flats. Okay. And that's pretty much it. So when you get 21 personnel, you kind of have an idea. It's just simple passing, generic passing, um, pretty much trying to isolate the guys on the outside. All right. And we get the down and distances. And again, I just give some reports if there's any information there. All right. 13 has always been a big thing for Andy Reid. It's been a hard situation to kind of like work with. He likes to run 13 personnel and he runs the ball and passes the ball. But the top concepts, we got a mixed bag. Again, what we got and what you see here is I'm actually saying we got this, which is based off of the first game. Okay. So we went through and the copycat all go plays, which is something that I called the copycat back then because it was one of his favorite plays. And he actually used to run it against Wade Phillips specifically a whole lot. All right. And then after that, we just, I went through the concepts there. All right. So top targets, some other personnels. Where's the ball going? 87, not a surprise, right? Kelsey. All right. So let me just go on to the next page real quick. And what I did was, this is something for the coaches. Some of the good players that were really smart wanted to read this stuff. I wouldn't really break it down for the players like this. This is for the coaches, okay? For the players, we went into more pictures, okay? We want to show them the pictures, we want to show them the plays, we show them the film. So this is something that we hand out to them, but I actually went on the film. When I got in the meeting room, I would make a cut up video of these plays and show it to them on the film so they can see what's happening, live motion, get the formations as it looks in real life, not just how it looks in pictures. This is more of again for coaches, for scout team, and then just for players who wanted extra. They would get this in their iPads, okay, and it would be sent to them, okay. But in general, though, these were the routes that I was talking about. This would be up here. Did I give a name? Yeah, the China 6 pivot. Okay, so that's pretty much what I was trying to describe. This could be a 9 or it could be a 6. Okay, so again, that's why I kind of compared it to the shock option in Madden. It's just that, it's pretty much the same concept. All right. Again, the formations that we're getting, we have our own names for it. Cincy slot is pretty much 12 personnel. It's pretty much Trips nub. Okay, they just have two tight ends, tight end here, LCB over here on the backside. Okay, so that's Trips nub formation. And you can just see over here we got basically a stick combination. Bullets is what we called it. And this is the wide bunch problem that I told you about. One of the favorite plays was snag 6 option, all right, or snag 6, basically running a dig here and running snag behind it, right? We always have to worry about the backside. How are we going to handle this whole combination back here, right? Because they're going to try to isolate those guys on that side of the field as well. All right, just another little quick game route. This is just the route that I was talking about. I called it just basically on one side is curl flat concept with a bang 8 on the backside. And then Andy Reid would never be Andy Reid without running some sort of basically shallow cross concept. We called it opposite high low. That's just the name that we called it at the team, but basically it's just shallow cross, okay, or mesh, some sort of play of that variation. So these are like the top 6 concepts that every day we went out in the field, we practiced, and I was the one that drew the cards up for this period. Obviously, it's my area. So when we get into Pat Skelly, we went into team. These were the cards that these guys, I would make it bigger so they can see the scout team, and they would run these plays. Okay, and then I would always try to find tips to give the players to let them know versus these formations versus these splits. These are the type of routes you get, and that's what they have to learn throughout the week, but we don't make it more than that. We don't give them too much. Now, if anybody wants to watch the film, they might see some other plays. They get back to us, but we try to break it down and make it simple so that it doesn't feel like it's a whole lot. All right. And these are the plays here right now. These are like play action plays. Okay. So our quality control coach, all he did here was just draw these up and we would talk about these play action plays. I would talk about these in my meeting room. All right. Again, that was pretty much it with that. He didn't come up with a intro sheet, but when I was with Jim Schwartz, I had this area as well. So I made a sheet on this. I can show you that in another video. All right. These are the movement passes that he did as well. So you just see everything's from a defensive point of view, which is interesting, right? All right. So our head DB coach, our main DB coach, he did third down. So he went through this. You could take a look at this. I'm not going to go through it all right now, but he kind of talks about an overview of their third down passing game, this alert for what type of protections, quarterback operation, because it's important. A lot of times we're going to try to blitz on third down. So we need to know when to time it up. All right. So guys don't think people do a lot of work on defense, do y'all? All right. So let me just take a look at his, oh wait, so this part down here. So that was the beginning. Then he also broke down the formations, just kind of like what I did. Um, he did it more in a chart fashion. This is the way it kind of hit his brain. So he wanted to know like blackout, gun under is pretty much 3x1 trips, just basic 3x1. Different personnel groupings, the concepts again, the top concepts. And then again, what we would do is we would call a break point. So 3rd and 2 to 6 to him, the type of plays that he got were kind of grouped together. So to him, that was the beginning of like when they would run China's delays, okay? Things like that. That's pretty much how he grouped it. And then we showed some of the plays, okay? So these were the top plays that we saw. Some of these quick game routes or just trying to get guys open quickly. All right, so it's all there. This looks very similar to first and second down, especially something like this, right? It looks very similar. And then third and 7 and 9, he broke that out separately. He saw a different tendency of plays in that area. So again, we're trying to kind of like guess what the offensive coordinator's call sheet looks like, right? So he thinks that in this group, in this section, he saw all go. He saw some sales. He saw the opposite high low, and he felt like and some double moves popped up. So this is a certain category that we need to be prepared for these type of plays. For him, this was like second. This was like third and medium. So again, this number up here for us changed every week depending on the personality of the coach. If the coach went to more of the traditional third and long type of plays, and he did it on 3rd and 5, then we would just say, hey, 3rd and 5 is third and long this week, okay? And you need to know that. So the breakdown here was 3rd and 10 plus, where it started to get into some of the other routes that he thought was more of the deeper quality of type of routes. So I'll go special, some quick game and things like that. So and some screens. So anytime screens and draws start popping up in third down, that's pretty much a tell that on the offensive coordinator sheet, that's when they think it's important. And that's when they're in their mind, it's third and long and it's a different mentality. Okay. You're going to see more protection type of stuff. You're going to see some chip alignments, things like that. All right. So then here again, the routes that we got on third and long, you can see how they're deeper, right? So you're getting like this deep type of dagger routes, right? And he did actually, Andy Reid did still believe in running his drive concept no matter what at any down and distance, but that's that, right? So that's pretty much where we're at, man. I can go through red zone. We have all these plays drawn up. We have first and second down run plays here also. So I can just kind of go through that. Our linebacker coach took care of this. He would do a little write up himself. He would do it by hand. But again, these plays were drawn out, I think, by our quality control coach. And he needed to go through and just put our fronts. So if you see here, a lot of these fronts are under fronts, right? And that's our base defense here with Wade. And we need to learn how to, how are they going to block up their runs to what we do on defense? How do we expect to get blocked? That type of stuff helps you in game day, so it's really easy to be ready for it. Okay. Now, another report that was done by everybody, but definitely one of our other quality control guys did this report, was looking at the cadence, trying to understand when things were happening, right? And if you're a coach and you want to learn some of this stuff or you need these templates, I will give it to you. Just hit me up in the description, hit me up on Twitter, Geronimo223. Join the Patreon, join my coordinators crew, all that stuff. And I'll definitely give you everything just straight up if you want the templates, okay? But we would talk about pass line calls. We would take a look at what's going on with little things that can help our defense get a better jump. Some of the calls, this is the way he's going to go out there. So it's not a surprise. And we would give this to our scout team and we would teach the quarterback to use some of the sign language and some of those things, okay? All right, so this is just like an overview that you can use like in a PowerPoint presentation to the whole team. Like when you first get with them, this was like the first report that we would do. So all the coaches were specialized in their own reports, but this was like the main report that our coordinator or our quality control coach would get up and just talk about real quick, right? Just some basic overall run pass numbers. Again, this is based off of like 3 games or so. All right, so let me just go through it quickly. And then we have some things that we need to work, like some big tells, okay? Again, bingo formations as we called it, but 4x1. I mean, Andy Reid is still doing this stuff. What happens when the running back is on this side to the 3 receivers, right? 1-4 splits, right? So we had tells that maybe they did certain things, right? This is an RPO screen over here, okay? Or a smoke screen, things like that. So this is really getting into Andy Reid in the beginning of his getting into the 4x1 type of sets, okay? Which he still does to this day, the college type of stuff, as I would call it. All right. Then we have some huge tells, like when it's 3x1 under and the running back's away from the passing string. Okay. It's alert, 82 passes and 7 runs. So, like, this is this type of stuff that coordinators don't even realize that they're doing. And if you ever broke down somebody on Madden and whoever gets you play over and over, there's probably some huge tells like that too. Like every time they get in a certain formation, it's this play or that. It's going to be pass, right? So This is the whole season, I think he broke down. Okay. But then the last two breakdowns were included. But that's a huge tell. So anytime we got regular 3x1, right, it was easy to tell. So no tight end in the core, meaning that the tight end walked out like a wide receiver, right? Over here, another 3x1, even though this is 3x1 nub, okay, but the tight ends walked out. So we just wanted to like give guys a tip that that's a huge tip, and our guys would love to know that so that when they're on the field, they can pretty much start eliminating plays that it's not going to be. All right. So there's a whole bunch of tips here. I won't go through them all, but we went through this third down. All right. And then just some stuff for the D line, the pass rush, since pass rush is important to us, right? 2 point stance here. If you get a 2 point stance, 87% pass, right? You get a run, different types of stances. So his run stance, his pass stance, okay? Just so you can see a little bit how he's down lower, okay? Things like that. Actually, hold on. Let me go back on that. That was a 2 point stance pass. He's calling this a run stance. I'm not sure what happened on this one, but that's absolutely a run stance, right? So just kind of looking at it from that standpoint, yeah, I didn't prep myself on this part here, so I'm not exactly sure what this is going on, but because he has two things here. Oh, he's just showing the run stance over and over. Okay. So yeah, run stance. All right, cool. So run, right? 3 point stance equals high percentage of runs, or at least 55 to 45 run, 2 point stance, 87% pass. Okay, so again, I don't know if this was any different than this one. This looks like a pass stance. I'm not sure what he's showing there, but that last part is not a big deal. Just wanted to kind of show you the whole thing. And then the last part here is just taking a look at the ready sheet that we have. If you guys in my room know that I use this kind of style right here when I actually give the ready sheets, right? So this is what we did on first and second down. So after we watched the film, after we talked about it, we pulled this up and we start drawing up or just start putting in our defenses. Sometimes it doesn't change week to week. Sometimes we just add one more thing in. So we have a problem, right? So we run like he wants to run his first defense. He's thinking because of the formations we're getting, Will Wink forecheck. So forecheck was us getting into cover 4 or cover 6 based off of the formations. And then we have also cover 8. All right. So cover 8 is basically cover 9 in Madden. So we wanted to just call that as well. This is against 21 personnel. Then we have all the different personnel groupings. So we go all the way over to 11 personnel. And I guess because of whatever reason, we decided to get into single more this year. You guys who know that, who I've talked to about having an extra corner on the field. So we played a lot of single. I guess we wanted to stop the run first. We felt like we were good enough to stop the pass, so we had better people. All right. Then we have a whole bunch of checks and things like that we have to worry about. Take a look at real quick the next week that we have here. I hope you guys are still following me on this. I hope you like this stuff. Third down. So as we get to third down, right? 3rd and 2 to 3. These are the break points we were kind of talking about. 3rd and 2 to 7. Okay, 8 to 10. I guess we actually added in an extra one here, if I'm not mistaken. But these are the calls that we had. So really, third down, we ran our dime. We had a NASCAR package ready to go. We ran whole. We ran rover. Okay, so that's what is it? Just rover is robber. Okay, and combo is basically, I've talked about this, double teaming bracket coverage on 2 players, okay? And then we ran Mad 1 as the blitz of choice in this situation, okay? Then as we got to 3rd and 8 to 10, you can see combo, cover 6, cover 9, okay? We actually had 2 different, so cover 8 was actually our base version of cover 9. So when we were in base personnel, we called it cover 8, but it had some different rules that were more like buster rules. I'll go over that at a different time. Cover 9 is purely cover 2, no buster rules. And we would just play that out coverage wise. And I think I've talked to you guys about this who have been on my Patreon. I've started getting into some strategy, when to call stuff. So I just want you guys to see what it looks like. And then if you guys had joined and you want to join, I'll show you how to run Mickey. I'll show you how to run, I don't have Mike Rush or Mike Loop right now. Mad, okay? And then these other ones are in there. Zorro Dynamite, that's another one that pops up. So these are plays that you guys have recognized if you were running the Wade Phillips scheme. You have a lot of these pressures already up and ready to go, okay? So that's that. And then at the end of the week, and this is red zone, I won't go through that right now, but at the end of the week, I'll just show it to you if you guys want to screenshot it or take a look at it. At the end of the week, we would just combine all of this, make it like a 2-page, call sheet. And this is the call sheet that Wade holds on the field when he's actually calling his plays. Okay. So that's that, man. And then just so you guys know, like, I mean, all this information is also like written out and actually computerized out. So a lot of the stuff is these are all the plays, right? How it's broken down by the quality control coach, sped out by our computer department, and then we go through it. And this is the sheet that I would use, especially to just double check on what are the tendencies that we're getting. Okay, so that would be like drop back, first and second down. Okay, and then we do a self scout as well. So this is something I would be doing on a day like today, right? Like I would be going back and just kind of looking at, so where are we at? And we have wins and losses. So like if we did well by our standards on these plays, which are graded out by coaches, we call it a win or a loss. And we have all the situations that we've called these plays. So these are our top calls up until these are the last 4 games. So what we're trying to do here is basically take a look at maybe what they're looking at, right? So they know that we are playing cover one, 80 plays. That's our top call, some sort of cover one. Now, for us, cover one includes a lot of different types of pressures, 5-man pressures. So that's how Wade called that cover one. And then blitz. So this would be like more of your 6-man pressures, right? Um, and then cover four, you can see that being the next group of calls there. You can see how many times we call it, right? 24. And after that, you keep on going. So Zorro, cover 9. Okay. So going from there, he could hole into a different category by itself because to him, that's a coverage. And we're only rushing 4. So that's where we're at. But he wanted to know, like, where are we struggling? Like, right now, you can see that cover 4 was like one of our lower coverages. Let me just get the marker here of success. So you would think that people, we need to clean that up and people know that they might have some cover 4 beaters ready to go. Okay, so that's kind of how we looked at it, and this goes through all the different um plays that we have here. Let me see what else is here. If it's just it's just plays. I'm pretty sure we do have some situations too, like down and distance how we're doing. Yeah, so like our by concept, coverage concept, man pressure. Here goes split safety zone defense. How are we doing there? So guys don't believe that Wade Phillips ran a split safety defense. He actually did. Take a look at this. I mean, he ran 4, 9, 6, 8, 85 times we're in split safety defense. And then all out blitz type of defense. You can see it there 36 times. This is in over 4 games. And let me go back up to the top. Oops, I might have skipped some stuff here. All right. I like this sheet right here. I love how we can break it down into like what style of defense, that we're struggling in. The man pressure defense, 89 times. So again, that's what Wade did. Man pressure, 89 plays. Last 4 games, split safety zone, 85 plays. Again, more on third down, right? And then blitz, all out blitz situation. So there's a lot of situational stuff, but we're bringing the house, right? Some of the stuff is goal line. All right, just straight man. We're playing hole and rover, which is robber, 30 times. Okay, our zones. So these are like the straight up cover 3 type of zones where we're dropping in the coverage 29 times. Okay, split safety man coverage 12 times. So that's the combo. That's like cover 2 man, and or when we double team people. Okay, and then just our zone pressure looks 20. So this is more on the bottom. All right. So that's just an idea of what we do throughout the week, how Wade Phillips runs his defense. I wanted to give this to you guys. I think, it's just something interesting. I'm going through my files, going through my records, and so I wanted to see if you guys would be interested in that. All right. So as we go along, if anybody wants to learn that Wade Phillips scheme to a detail about the plays and how to run them in Madden, again, it's on my Patreon. If you join, you can get all of it for free. And then also Jim Schwartz. I'm going to do another video soon with Jim Schwartz showing you how he broke it down, okay, which is going to be very similar to this in a lot of ways. But just, the way he did it, he was a little bit more of a PowerPoint guy. And, at this time we weren't really heavy PowerPoint, but with Wade, but you know what? It's all the same. Okay. These guys got it electronically on their pads. They went home and they studied it. They watched the film. And how could you not be successful in this style of organized preparation? It makes you feel so confident going into a game, right? All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace.